What if I told you there's a new AI that could read every Harry Potter book, all of Shakespeare, and the Lord of the Rings trilogy in one breath? Sounds insane, right? Meta just dropped its newest AI beast, LLaMA 4. But it's not just the size that's making headlines, it is the rumors flying that Meta may have rigged its benchmark scores, trained on the test sets, even manipulated results. Welcome to my channel AI Handbook, where I break down the biggest stories in AI every Thursday. In this video, we'll unpack the insane breakthroughs powering LLaMA 4, compare how it stands up to the titans of AI like OpenAI and Google, and peel back the curtain on the controversy Meta's probably hoping you'll never find out about. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, it is LLaMA 4 day. Our goal is to build the world's leading AI, open source it, and make it universally accessible so that everyone in the world benefits. And I've said for a while that I think that open source AI is going to become the leading models. And with LLaMA 4, this is starting to happen. Meta AI is getting a big upgrade today. Overall, LLaMA 4 is a milestone for Meta AI and for open source. For the first time, the best small, mid-size, and potentially soon frontier models will be open source. There's a lot more to do, but the trajectory here is clear. We've got more model drops coming soon, so stay good out there.
Okay, so that gave us a high-level view about LLaMA 4, but let's zoom in and break it down properly. We're now on the official LLaMA blog and Meta's not exactly being subtle. Right at the top, they call this the beginning of a new era of natively multimodal AI innovation. Big claim, right? I want you to keep that phrase, natively multimodal, in mind. It's way more important than it sounds, and I'll explain why very soon. And on the official LLaMA website, Meta puts it simply, the most accessible and scalable generation of LLaMA is here. Believe me, it really is. And trust me, I've got a bonus insight coming up that'll make you go, oh, now I get it. Hint, it is about Nvidia. Here's what they're promising. Native multimodality, mixture of experts models, super long context windows, step changes in performance, and unparalleled efficiency. All in easy-to-deploy sizes custom fit for how you want to use it. Don't forget these models are open-sourced, by the way. Now, LLaMA 4 isn't just one model, it's a whole family of them. But before we dive into the individual models, let's first take a moment to understand what LLaMA 4 is actually capable of. Because once you see the full picture, the specs will make a lot more sense. So here it is, LLaMA 4 is built from the ground up with native multimodality. Remember earlier when I told you to lock that phrase into your memory? I want you to keep that phrase, natively multimodal, in mind. Meta's really leaning into this because it's a big deal. LLaMA 4 doesn't just process text. It can also handle images and video, as input and output. That's right, multimodal, right out of the box. Now, you got the point. And when I said earlier that LLaMA 4 could read all of Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and the complete works of Shakespeare in a single breath. Yeah, I wasn't exaggerating. Thanks to its massive context length, LLaMA 4 now has the longest token window in the industry. That's game-changing, and honestly, I've never seen anything like it. LLaMA 4 aligns user prompts with relevant visual concepts and anchor model responses to regions in the image. And lastly, LLaMA 4 supports text understanding across 12 languages, which is really nice. Okay, let's talk briefly about each member of the LLaMA family. We've got 3 members announced, LLaMA Behemoth, Maverick and Scout. LLaMA 4 Scout is the little sibling of the family, but don't let that fool you. It packs a punch with 109 billion total parameters, 17 billion active parameters, and 16 experts. And get this, it can even run on a single Nvidia H100 GPU. But the truly mind-blowing thing about Scout is its insane 10 million token context window. Let me show you how fast it responds. I am going to use LLaMA 4 Scout modal in Grok Cloud. Check this out. It is just super fast, nothing more to say. And look at this, on the needle in a haystack benchmark, which tests the model's ability to recall information from a massive context, LLaMA 4 Scout shows near-perfect recall up to its full 10 million token limit. That's incredibly impressive and highlights the power of that long context window. In comparison with previous LLaMA 3 modal, they say in a blog post, LLaMA for Scout dramatically increases the supported context length from 128K in LLaMA 3 to an industry-leading 10 million tokens. Which is a huge leap, right? Next in line is LLaMA for Maverick. This one steps things up with 400 billion total parameters, 17 billion active parameters, and a whopping 128 experts. It's also natively multimodal and boasts a very respectable 1 million token context length. Meta is positioning Maverick as a top performer with a great performance-to-cost ratio. Here, Maverick has just around 1420 arena score with 85 cents off 1M tokens. And then we have the beast in the shadows, LLaMA for Behemoth. This is the one that's really turning heads with its nearly 2 trillion total parameters and a staggering 288 billion active parameters with 16 experts. It's being used as a teacher model to help the smaller LLaMA for models learn. Behemoth is still in training, but Meta says it's already outperforming some of the top closed-source models like GPT-4.5 and Claude Sonnet 3.7 in benchmarks. But let's wait until it is released because I believe it is too early to speak. I am just hoping that Behemoth looks like it's going to be a true powerhouse, especially in coding and reasoning. Alright, so that gives you a quick rundown of the models. Now, let me explain how to download or reach LLaMA for if you want to use them. First of all, only LLaMA for Scout and Maverick are available for download right now. The primary way is to head over to llama.com. You'll need to fill out a form. Once that's done, you should be able to download the Scout or Maverick model directly. Alternatively, you can also reach them via platforms like Fireworks AI and Hugging Face and even OpenRouter for a free API. I will leave links in the description below. Alright, normally I talk about benchmarks of any new model, but since I saw many rumors about benchmark results, I prefer to skip it for LLaMA for modals, at least for this video. I will share some reactions in social media soon, but before that I want to show you Maverick's score in LM Arena, which provides a bit more realistic results. Maverick experimental chat version reached number 2 on the LM Arena leaderboard with an ELO score of 1417, just behind Gemini 2.5 Pro experimental at the time. And remember, Maverick is open source and open weights. To be honest, this is the part that I got excited the most. And here is another comparison from Artificial Analysis. They have performed the tests on the Hugging Face release version of the LLaMA for weights for both Scout and Maverick. They observed that Scout's intelligence index has moved from 36 to 43, and Maverick's intelligence index has moved from 49 to 50. As a result, they concluded that both Scout and Maverick are very impressive models and a significant contribution to the open weights AI ecosystem. Now, as with any major AI release, there have been some whispers and discussions online. There were unsubstantiated rumors circulating that Meta might have artificially boosted LLaMA 4's benchmark scores by training on test sets. It's not uncommon to see variations as models are integrated into different platforms. However, Ahmed Uldol, VP of Generative AI at Meta, publicly denied these claims on X, stating that it's simply not true that they trained on test sets. He did acknowledge that some users are seeing mixed quality across different cloud providers as things get dialed in. Another point of discussion is the licensing. While Scout and Maverick are open weight, companies with more than 700 million active users still need to request a special license from Meta, who can grant or deny it. There are also requirements for prominently displaying built with LLaMA, and including LLaMA at the beginning of any derived model's name. Some in the open source community, like Maxime Lebon, have pointed out that this isn't a completely open license. Then there's the hardware issue. Even the smallest LLaMA for model, Scout with 109 billion parameters, is too large to run on most consumer-grade GPUs, even with quantization. As Jeremy Howard noted, a 4-bit quantized version is still too big for a top-of-the-line RTX 4090. He did suggest that Macs with a lot of memory might be a better fit due to the lower compute requirements of the MO architecture when only active parameters are engaged. So, while the active parameters are relatively lower, you still need the RAM to hold the full model. This leads to an interesting question: did Meta rush the release of LLaMA 4, particularly Scout and Maverick, to compete more directly with the rapidly advancing AI landscape, including models coming out of China like DeepSeek? Before wrapping up, here is the bonus content. While I am preparing this video, Nvidia just dropped LLaMA 3.1 Nemotron Ultra 253B, which beats LLaMA for Behemoth and Maverick. It is open source and available on Hugging Face. Things happen so fast nowadays. What are your thoughts on LLaMA 4? Are you planning on downloading it and giving it a spin? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more AI news, and share this with anyone who might be interested. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.